Out, yo. Second to last day at classes. Here early morning, 6 a.m. Coming to work on this senior design stuff. All dapped up for Dr. Dean. Nice. Got the poster here. You'll see that later. And on my way to Perkins this morning. Apparently still mechanicals are presenting today. And I don't think the actual control system works. So I guess taking one for the team, coming to work on it, see if I can get it fixed. Sue should also be here this morning, so it's always nice, always good. Yeah. That's it, I guess. Now, I got an oil change this afternoon. It should be fun. Anyways, I'll get a checkup in and show you what it looks like after a while. So, see you. Right, got about 7:15 now. Apparently, it started raining, so that is very unfortunate. Funny story. Went to Perkins. Thought we were working on senior design stuff. It turns out Perkins is locked. So I walked all the way up there. Had to walk back. Met vidE in the senior design lab of Mid-Cal. And we worked on our 459 stuff. I was probably telling you yesterday that our presentation didn't go as well. But the real problem is that afterwards, when we went to the TA and the teacher, they basically said, yeah, what you're doing is right. But they just didn't understand or something. I mean, I don't know. We went to them and they're like, yeah, what you're doing is good. Well, then what were you... Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I totally just scared the bejeebers out of that guy. Anyway, that's pretty funny. But needless to say, we're basically just going to, write this paper to explain like I'm 5, because apparently that's what we need to do. Explain our process down to the very reiterating definitions that they gave us for some of the different concepts. So, anyways, working on that. We're going to go to the TA after a while. We're going to go to the TA, confirm that what we're doing is right, so that we can just get this thing done and over with. Turn it in, get it done. Anyways, we're leaving. vidE forgot his umbrella, so he's taking mine to get his out of the car, so that we can walk up to Perkins. Because it's actually raining very hard. I had even no idea that it was supposed to rain today. So I'm going to get out of here, see if we can get this graduation finished. The moment of truth. Give you a little quick update about this morning. After vidE and I worked on our 459, went up to Perkins, went to the mechanicals senior design room where the screw is. Worked on it a bit. I don't know what's going on here, but tested it out. It looked to be working well enough. But yes, it was working well enough, except one of the valves was messed up. So then vidE went and tried to do a little wiring tweaking. And as it turns out, what we learned in retrospect is that we can only pull about 50 milliamps out of the Pi, but we're pulling a lot more, a whole lot more. Where 50 milliamps equates to about 3 of the GPIO pins, and we're using 5, 6. Guys interrupted me. Well, actually, so if you can't tell, there's a bunch of open space back there. There used to be about 6 tables. People have had to come in here. Anyways, getting a little squirrel. Anyways, yeah, so it was working, and then vidE was doing a bit of fixing, and then it quit working. So the natural progression is to think that that was the problem, but really the problem was that we literally burnt out the GPIO pins on the Raspberry Pi. So there was no signal going to anything, so everything broke. Needless to say, that was pretty stressful. A couple of the other guys showed up. We got Scott to bring back Vasu's soldering iron so that they could fix the valves back. And then we did that. Still wasn't working because it was really literally the Pi was just donezo. So what we did was, they all had to leave at the end of class. Mechanicals got there, showed up, put on the plexiglass casing around the electronics for the screw, and then the rest of my team left. Luckily, Nick had his Pi left, and we had originally tried to use it, but it wouldn't turn on or something. But that was because he had taken the card out, and we forgot to check if the card was actually in there. So then he went to class, but then ran back because they figured out that the card wasn't in there, so it didn't have an OS. So of course, it wasn't turning on. Then he ran back and gave it to me. Originally, we were going to swap out the entire system, and I had to reinstall everything onto the new card and board. But I made the very good decision and good realization to just swap the boards, but just keep the same card. That way, it'd have all the same OS and installation and files. So did that. Worked like a charm. Again, I kind of covered this at the beginning, but we'd been running this board and this OS for a while, or it really is just the board, but we've been running this board basically the entire time, and it's gone. So that just means it's only a matter of time until this next one goes, and every one in the future. So that is a problem that, well, it's really a fundamental problem, a fundamental hardware problem that we can't bypass. So, what does that mean? I don't know. That means that it's not going to work large scale, but it should work for the next week to get this project presented. So, with that being said, I stayed back, got it all working. Boards replaced, screens back on, code. So originally this morning, Nick had tried to fix some of the code to. So the next problem was that the software was not working exactly right. So you can open up the GUI, but if you start the motor, switch to manual mode, it's done. You can't stop the motor. But if you're on the automatic, you can start and stop the motor. There's just no digits or nothing to show. So to get the values to show up on the screen, you have to switch to manual mode. But if you switch to manual mode, the stop button doesn't work. So it's kind of which one would you rather have? So that's really just another kind of software problem that we need to figure out, which I tried to do, but really just didn't have enough time. Nick tried to do it, but after that patch, it just didn't work at all. So I kind of had to roll it back to the version from this morning. So needless to say, it works. I guess enough to demo, which the mechanicals are doing right now. And then I am here in Mancal doing our demo. So since they're only presenting one day, they have the screw today. And then since we're presenting 2 days, today and tomorrow, we will have the screw tomorrow. And I think they were preparing for the screw. So they basically gave us this huge room. So as you can see here. Yeah, see somebody stopped by to get a table, but they're all gone. Anyways, we got this entire room just for us, but we don't have anything to show today. So these tables will be used for tomorrow. Anyways, give you a quick demo. This is what our poster looks like. Some people walking by. I'll do it later. So you can see this poster. People give us ratings and stuff. Big orange screw conveyor. All of us. Introduction. Methods. Materials and methods. We have our results here. Nice diagram of a screw drew. What the GUI looks like. And then the original CAD drawing of what the screw looks like. Our conclusions, which should have been added on to. Our acknowledgments of the people working together. Tickle and Eastman. And then some literature cited. I thought about trying to go get some food because I knew I was just going to show up here and sit around like I have, but it's too late now. I mean, it's 11:30. I could probably go, but anyways, that's about it for now. I'll catch you later. I've got a couple ideas I want to get out, get them in the records before I forget them. But so I won't really go much into them. Maybe, probably will. The first is it'd be super awesome. So one thing I want to do is have a lot of stuff in that I want to say, and so there's different ways to incorporate that into a recording. But the first is that I was listening to Gary Vee, and he was talking about how people are remembered for the predictions they make. And so just an idea I was having is, so I wonder if you could just make a lot of predictions, every day or a couple times a day, a couple times a week, whatever. And then the ones that are wrong are just kind of passed by and disregarded, but the ones that are right are there taken seriously. I guess at some level you have to kind of, if you care about that, then you want to make sure your percentage is high or your ratio of correct predictions to incorrect predictions. But I don't know. I wonder if that really matters, or just saying stuff and having it down for people to look back later if they will disregard all the incorrect predictions and only think about the correct predictions. Take a break for a second. Then on to a second point. I have a lot of these things, and I think it'd be cool to have this is kind of a side project, which hopefully I'll use this video to create my side project. But I want to be able to record a video, and so if I have a reminder, I'll say, so I'll have a reminder to do whatever, or I want to take a note of this, or make sure I remember this. And then when it's in the video, I can do a video analysis or create some software to go through and find all the words, or find all these keywords and the whatever I said afterwards, and to be able to write that down and transcribe it, so that when I'm creating these, videos or logs or whatever, and I have something I want to remember, I can say I have a reminder, remind me to do this, or if I have an idea, so I can go back and think about it and see all the ideas I had over the time. Anyways, reminder, do this. Next, listen to the Gary Vee show. This guy wants to travel around, do a traveling banjo show or something like that. Also, so for me, I think he could do a really good job of incorporating travel and recording myself now once I moved to Ireland, and just doing all that crazy stuff and just having it on there. And I don't know, idea, something to do. And then that's really it. Because it also reminded me of how Casey Neistat got his first contract. I believe he made the bike lane video, and then somebody wanted to make him another video, so then he just used all the money that they paid him to then go travel around the world and just record stuff, and it just ended up that the video was their trips and their travel, because it was like a Sony's or something. Anyways, that could be awesome. I'm looking at doing that idea.